Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm excited that you're here. Thank you for subscribing to my newsletter and to my website. I appreciate that very much. There may very well be a lot of new subscribers because of some of the media that my awesome publicist has been able to secure for me. So, all of you, welcome. And for all of you that have been a subscriber for a while, these the weekly newsletter and videos are not unusual or odd. So, or maybe the content might be odd. But that being said, I'm just happy that you're here. And thank you for all of you that have bought my book, whether it's Kindle, paperback, Audible. Thank you very much. It's in its second printing, so it's really incredible and an honor. What I wanted to do today is that I received a great email, and I wanted to answer some of these questions in a video format, so that way everyone would be able to benefit from the answers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the email, and then I'm going to answer the question. The email's not very long, but it's great questions, and it really speaks to some of the things that are going on, and why are these things going on, and what's the best way to work with what is happening here. Okay. All right. So let me read the email, and then I'll answer it. Okay. I am a holdout. I am in a holdout province in Canada, which is still under lockdown. I've been a social creature my whole life. I'm not allowed to participate in most of society, and with national vax passport regulations, I'm not permitted to travel. I'm a passionate world traveler who cannot leave my country. I've lost my inspiration. I'm a writer who loves to write, yet is not writing. My motivation for anything is all but gone, and this is the first time in my life I have no goal, no plan, no enthusiasm for anything. I've successfully taught a course on manifestation, yet here I sit inert. I feel victimized by being trapped in a country that has shocked the world with its authoritarian regime of control. RJ, my question is, if you've lost hope in the world and feel like you are living in a really bad episode of The Twilight Zone, how do you create a magical life in the manner you've described? How do you move to a different timeline where you are not physically segregated and trapped in your country? Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So the first thing I want to say about this, and thank you again for your email, and thank you for allowing me to answer it in this fashion. So I appreciate that very much. Okay. I've lost my inspiration. My motivation is gone. Okay. Now, this happens and can happen to all of us when we are relying on something outside of ourselves to provide the inspiration itself or the motivation. Okay? So what we want to learn to do, from my perspective, what we want to learn to do is to not have our state of being dependent upon anything outside of ourselves. Okay? How much money we have in the bank account, what the house looks like, what the car looks like, maybe even what's going on with the government or the military or whatever. Okay? Anything or anyone. You do not want your state of being reliant or dependent upon anything outside of yourself. You are actually setting up a victimhood paradigm. Okay? And your motivation will always just come and go. It's not reliable, right? So I'll give an example. Okay, my father, who passed away a few years ago, was a gigantic baseball fan, and we grew up in New York, so he was a huge Yankees fan, and so he would live and die like many people. He would live and die with the Yankees. If the Yankees won, he was in a good mood. Everything was great. If the Yankees lost, he was in a terrible mood, and then and the world was ending. Okay. So he really made his state of being contingent upon something that was outside of him, right? Well, the Yankees doing well, the Yankees not doing well. Now, we do this with everything. We do this with how much money we got in our bank account. We do this with what's going on in the news, right? We do this what's going on in the world. We do this what's going on in our own household, whether it's our wife or our husband or our daughter or sister, this, that, doesn't matter. Okay? We need to have a level of detachment. Detachment is number one. Number one, above all else. So we need to have a level of detachment and not make our state of being contingent upon anything outside of ourselves. That is true self-empowerment. And that motivation will never wane because that's you, and you are eternal. So that's how you do that. It's simple. I'm not going to say it's easy. I could, but I'm not going to say it's easy. But it is that simple. Detach. Stop identifying with what's going on. Okay? Reside as, for, within, and by the self. And allow the self to flower and then express that. And that's the truest motivation. It's the only real motivation because the self is the only thing that is truly real. Everything else is momentary and it comes and goes. So therefore, don't make any of it important. Okay. How do you create a magical life in the manner you've described? By letting go of the ego-mind identity. For all of you that have gotten the book or are just now getting into the book or some of the courses on the website, the ego-mind identity is who you think you are and how you feel about it, how you feel about yourself, and it's not you. So if you want to create a magical life, you have to learn how to let go of that, and the book shows you how to do it. It's not complicated. And as you move past all your limitations and identifications, what remains is you, and you are magic itself. You are an immortal creator being. You can create whatever you want when you remove the limitations. And the EMI, the ego-mind identity, is a limitation program that runs by thinking. And what's the remedy for thinking? Meditation. And we want to normalize that state of clarity. So there is no thought process. There's clarity and higher consciousness imagination. Okay. Moving, how do you move to a different timeline when okay. You're not here to move into a different timeline. You chose this timeline, as did I, as did everyone who will be watching this video. The point is not to escape this timeline. The point is to experience the depth of yourself in relation and in context to it. That's the point. There is no escape. Escape what? And who's the one doing the escaping? It's always the ego-mind identity. Realize yourself. Know thyself. And that has nothing to do with what is going on here. If we are feeling victimized, it's because we are overvaluing what we don't have and undervaluing what we do have. Really sit with that. It will clarify everything for you. Okay. I think that might be everything in terms of this email. Be very mindful about making your state of being contingent upon anything outside of yourself. That is the key. Okay. I hope that was helpful. I hope I didn't ramble on too much because anyone who knows me knows I do that frequently. Okay? All right. It's wonderful to connect with all of you. All of you be well. Keep on a lookout for notifications, though, because there will be more videos on the YouTube channel. And like I said, if you haven't, please pick up a copy of my book. It will change everything for you. Until then, be well.